What's up, y'all? So it's Sim. I am back with episode 3 of How I Really Feel. And right now, Spirit has me, oh, I thought something was in my eye, y'all. Sorry, I feel like I could feel it, but maybe it's nothing there. Anyway, y'all. So Spirit has guided me to work through the belief of success. This one was really interesting. I mean, they're all interesting. All the beliefs that I've been revisiting or visiting for the first time that has been coming up for me. And I've been feeling it. But this one really hit different because I feel like it has opened up my eyes to so many different ways of now looking at how I view success. So let's see. Where do I want to start? And I hope you guys are doing amazing. It is a rainy, gloomy day, and I just thought it was perfect to go ahead and put a video up. So when I first started to unpack, right, my belief around success and what that looks like, or what I have been conditioned to believe success is, right? I started to look at my upbringing, my parents' work ethics and how they showed up as a provider. And my parents, none of them were lazy. They all worked. If anything, they worked too fucking much. And that shows in how and what they chose to prioritize, because 3 of my parents come from, a different country. So they don't even realize subconsciously they are already in survival's mode when they came over here to provide, to make a living, because they were thrust into having to survive for themselves at such a young age. And then my other parent, he's an American, but he also worked excessively for whatever reason. Because the situation is different. But I think that is what he was taught, that working, providing was how you showed up as a man, how you showed up as a parent, when we all know that it has to be a balance. What we know now, that there has to be a balance of emotional, physical, as far as providing and stability and security, but the emotional piece of knowing that, your child feels safe, your child feels loved, your child feels valued. So as I started to unpack, right, my belief systems around success, I started to see how not only did I have a warped vision of success from viewing my parents constantly working multiple jobs to provide, I know that they were doing the best that they could, but again, we're just talking about the condition and not necessarily like their motives behind why they were doing it. So I looked at my parents, and then I started to look at, from a young age, it starts in school. They start asking you, what do you want to be when you grow up? Start really applying that pressure, planting that seed that you must be successful. And not saying that success shouldn't be a goal, but why is that prioritized over you going into a career or a profession that makes you happy? That just makes you fucking smile, and trusting the money will come from that. But that's not how the conditioning starts. The conditioning is, okay, you need to get a good job so that you can make a good living to take care of yourself and your needs and your desires. It's not really a thing, right? Because if you think about it, a lot of us have had talents and gifts, right? But from a young age, you may have been interested in something. Let's say you were interested in the arts, or you were interested in music, or you were interested in I don't know, being a writer, whatever, something that's not completely traditional and that society deems will make you a good amount of money for you to be considered successful. And so as I started to think about that, I'm like, damn, they really do ask us from mad young, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then automatically you start looking at the celebrities of the world, your parents, your upbringing, your lineage of what professions you may try to follow in their footsteps, or you may look at externally outside of yourself towards a celebrity or somebody of a certain status, and you're like, oh, well, not necessarily you care about what profession they're doing, but you're looking at what they have, because in the matrix with success, they combine it with materialistic things, tangible things, not necessarily how you feel about what you're doing and how you feel about your damn self. So you're looking outwardly outside of you and you're saying, damn, let's just take a rapper. You're seeing the cars, the money, the house, all of this shit. And you're like, okay, I want what this person has. So that means I need to go out and do something similar or the exact fucking thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you see how the conditioning starts, and it really starts to play on your mind, and you don't realize that the series of steps that you're taking, because that seed has been planted now in your subconscious, you're like, okay, I'm now going to set myself up and I'm going to follow in this person's footsteps and I'm going to do this. And sometimes people go do this, and what happens? 9 times out of 10, you get to that and you're not happy. Because that was, number one, that was not your damn story. That's number one. Number two, did it ever occur to you that success is not in materialistic things? Success is not in all the way tangible things. Sometimes success can just be you feeling amazing about yourself. You feeling like what you're doing is deeply rooted. So I say that to say, when I started to work, which started at a very young age, it was something that I just felt like I needed to do because I've watched everybody around me work. And not saying that you should not work, but the reasons as to why I did it was not on by my own doing, of when I felt like I was actually ready to go into the workforce, or when I was actually ready to do something that I wanted to do. But I understand that in doing everything, there are no mistakes. There are no, wrong turns, because at every step you learn. And I learned so many different skills, but I've learned these skills to now understand that I do not agree with the traditional way of working. And I say that to say, fast forward now, right? It's no surprise that I am separated from the traditional working world. And I have been, I started my full entrepreneurship with starting my product line, but then I decided to take a break because I wanted to make healing my full-time job. And so as I started to look at the workforce, like my own story, not just what I witnessed, but what I actually showed up and did in work, y'all. Hold up, because I'm still sitting. I'm sitting in all of this because it's just amazing how investigating my own life and my own story and my own ways has given me so much insight as to why I did what I did, as to why I'm no longer fucking showing up that way. It's just amazing, like taking that time to sit in that pain, to sit in that discomfort, to sit in that hurt, to sit in all of it, has given me such a blessing and a profound vision over my life and over how I'm going to move forward. It's like, it's priceless. That's why I get lost in not having the words, because I'm so caught up in the feeling of what I feel right now that words and the human language cannot fucking compare. It cannot fucking compare. So the deeper I started going down the rabbit hole, right, of my beliefs surrounding success, my old life of working a traditional job and all of that started to haunt me. It really started to haunt me. And the reason why I say that is because I already said I am in 3 different realities at the same time these days. Not at the same time, but they rotate depending on what I'm working through. And during this particular belief, my past life of working a traditional job and going through the rabbit hole of my work history, it started to really haunt me because my ego started to say like, damn, all right, your credit is dropping. You have less fucking money in your account than you did before. You've had to give another fucking bill to God. You need to just go out and go get another fucking job. Like, you have 2 degrees, you have the credentials to go out and get a good high paying fucking job with benefits and just alleviate this discomfort right now. Like, you don't have to go through this. Why are you choosing to go through this? But y'all, for the fucking life of me, like nothing, like no matter how many tears I had to cry, no matter how many times my ego kept saying that over and over, it was like that shit was on repeat. Like, they just hit the fucking record button and left that shit to play constantly. And yo, it was like, it was making me feel like I was drowning. Like I was drowning. I'm like, how the fuck can me deciding to sit here and look at the things that have been hurting me, that has been holding me back from the fullest potential of all that I can be, how is going down this road not what I'm supposed to do? Because clearly working for someone else and showing up in a way that I did not want to fucking show up in, it didn't make me happy. It did not fucking make me happy. So I was like, all right, you know what time it is. It's magic time. Okay. It's time for me to work my magic. So I went on another hike and I had decided to write a petition and give it to the stream, give it to the water, and just allow the universe and my guides to guide me to what was I missing? Because I know that this feeling of healing feels amazing. It's hard. It's tough. I'm not going to fucking lie, but it's worth it. Because the more aware I become of myself, of why I am the way that I am, of why I have shown up the way that I have shown up, and the things that are no longer serving me that needs to be the fuck gone, I feel is the best way I can experience this life. It's the best way I can raise my consciousness in this reality. It's the best way to co-create with spirit and create the actual life that I love, that I want to fucking be a part of, that I want to live out for the remainder of my time, and not just a life that was placed on me. So once I wrote that petition, right, and I got finished my hike, I said, all right, I trust that it's always going to come to me, because it always does. And right after that, I got home. I think I ate something. Yeah, I ate some lunch. And my guys was like, go get that book. What is it called? Hold on, y'all, because I got the book. It's called Becoming an Empowered Projector by Evelyn Livingston. Child, I don't know. Something like that. So, instantly, because I ain't going to tell y'all no damn lies. Instantly, my ego was like, we already fucking read that book, Spirit. Like, why the hell are you telling me to go read this book again? Like, we need something new to get us up out of this feeling, because right now, the ego is telling us to go get a job because this shit is uncomfortable. I am not used to not having what I have worked so hard to have. So I was like, all right, girl, just be obedient. Now, I read this book almost 2 years ago. And that's why I was like, why are you telling me to read this book again? And before then, I really didn't pick up any books to reread. I had to really, really fuck with it. And I could count on one hand probably how many books that was. But this time around, I was like, no, follow the signs. You ask for guidance, remove the expectations of how you think that guidance is supposed to show up, and just follow the signs. So I began to reread the book, because if, for those of you who don't know, right? I'm trying to see how best I can explain this. All right. So everybody knows, you have a zodiac sign. And for those people who like to take it further and do like a, look up their natal chart, which will have the time, your name, the place, the location of where you were born, and your birth dates and time. So the more information you have for that, the deeper you can get a scope of your astrological chart, your natal chart. And when you look at your natal chart, and of course it is going to be based off of when you were born, because nobody will have the same chart as you, not even fucking twins. And it's specific to you, but your natal chart helps you to see how your life journey will play out. But you do have free will, so it's not exact, it's not accurate. It's just, to me, I like to say it gives you the best possibilities and options of if you choose to go down this road and follow the true nature of your natal chart. Now, then we have your human design chart. Your human design chart, so every human being, I would like to say, yeah, I would say every human being, period. Even those who don't have a fucking soul. Every human being, we all have our energy type. We all have a different energy type. And there's 5 main energy types, 5. And those 5 types, so each human being will fall under one of those types, depending on when you were born, like the time and the date, the location, etc. Now, how I like to look at it for your human design chart is, this is how your human design makeup is. Everyone is different. There is no one who has the exact same human design makeup, no matter if you're in the same energy type group. There are 5 groups, but even though I'm in the group of a projector, there are no 2 projectors that are alike. Every projector is different, although we have the same energy type. We just have a main, like a main agenda, which the main agenda for projectors are to guide. That's our main agenda, but underneath that, we're all different because we don't have the same natal chart. Now, I say this to say, I'm going to read really quickly the main description of what each group, each energy type does, so that you can get an understanding of where I'm going with this. Okay, let me learn you something today, because your girl been heavy in research. Heavy again, because when I first read this book, I took it in, but I wasn't in the place, right, to understand exactly what the fuck I was supposed to do with this information. And so when I take in information, because I get a lot, they send me a lot of things to learn, but there's a difference. Remember I told you before, there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. I will learn the knowledge first, but then there comes time for me to apply it, which then turns it into wisdom, which is what I'm doing now. So almost 2 years ago, when I first started to study this, I was just gaining the knowledge. I was just learning the language, understanding the concept, and seeing how it applies to my life. But I wasn't ready to activate it. I wasn't ready to apply it, which I am now ready to do. So let's start with the first type. The first type are the manifestors. So the manifestor operates just outside of this dominant dynamic, but influences both sides of the equation. And the manifestor's role to initiate others into action and initiate projects into existence. They stimulate the generators and the manifesting generators, which are the next 2 types. So we have manifestors, generators, and then manifesting generators. So Manifestors, they initiate. So they initiate the goal, they initiate the project, they can initiate any type of creative idea, right? But then they turn it over to the generators and the manifesting generators. The manifesting generators and generators are the doers of the world. They make up majority of the population, 70%. Okay? Manifestors only make up about 9%. And manifestors make up 9%. Generators and manifesting generators make up 70%. And then you turn it over to us projectors, which are the guiders of the world. Okay. So we are the ones that guide the manifesting generators and the generators to do the work, with whether it's within themselves, in the community, in humanity, on the planet. Okay. And then you have the reflectors, who are I like to call them the samplers. So the reflectors, they make up 1% of the population, and they are the ones that are able to sample the energy of all of the other types of groups and be able to accurately display if this is working and how each of us feel, how each energy type feels. So they're just the sampler. I like to say they monitor the shit. Like, but if you look at it, we all have our own job to do, which is supposed to work in collaboration with one another. It's a system. And I want to show you guys like the little, symbiotic. Y'all know what the fuck I mean. But this is the chart. I know it's going to be backwards, but I'm going to leave a link in the, in my description, so that if anybody who's interested, you guys can go ahead and do a free test. If you know, of course, your last name, your first name, and the your date of birth, the location of where you were born, and the time. I do believe if you don't have the time, you can still get a chart, but I feel like it would be more accurate if you have the birth time. So look on your birth certificates. I know some birth certificates have them, some don't, but ask your parents if they remember, and if not, pray on it, set an intention for it, and ask your guides to give you guidance on that if you don't have it. But anyway, getting back to the story, because no sir. Oh, y'all, I forgot I had my coffee. Hold on. It's mushroom coffee. I don't drink regular coffee. It's mushroom coffee. Bussin'. I done turned a couple people on. But anyway, for the entirety, although I have always guided people, I have not guided people correctly and in alignment with how my energy is set up. And for the entirety of my work history, I have shown up and operated as either a manifester, a generator, or a manifesting generator. That is how I have showed up. I was always initiating shit, and I was always doing, initiating too much. And so I started to look back, right? And the reason why I said I was always guiding as a projector, but not accurately for my type of energy, because with projectors, we are to be invited in to work with people, to be invited in by either a recognition or an invitation. And so I was constantly helping people. And although, yes, a lot of people were seeking me out for that help, it still wasn't in alignment, because not every invitation is the right invitation for me or for any fucking projector. You have to use your discernment. It has to be reciprocal, because we don't have a defined sacral energy center within our human design makeup. That means we don't have sustainable energy. We don't have sustainable workforce or life force energy, which means that's why we don't have the energy to initiate or to just be the doers. We could do it for a certain period of time, but it's not sustainable, which always led me into fucking burnout. which always led me into feeling bitter because I felt like I always was giving, and I wasn't getting anything in return. And it's because I was not sharing my energy and my gifts with the right individuals. So now that I understand it, I started to look back. Me start to look back now. Because I try for understand. Hold on, wait. Almost all of my job them, all of them came from an invitation. Almost every single one of my jobs, somebody sought me out and then I applied. Or they sought me out and I didn't have to apply. I just got the damn job. But not all the invitations were right invitations for me. And then, even on top of that, I started to look at the businesses I created, like podcasting, the contactless massage business, even down to my spiritual product line. Although, yes, I have great ideas, which I have a bunch of fucking ideas, I do not have the sustainable energy to do. Like, I was never intended to be working on 9 to 5 motherfucking job. I was never supposed to be, I was never supposed to be constantly doing. That is not, it's just not sustainable for me. And so I started to say, well, God damn, so what you mean I'm just supposed to just do nothing? Like, and I'm supposed to just constantly waiting for an invitation all the fucking time. Invitation, I don't even be fucking with people at the damn time. So how the hell do you do this invitation? But then I started to continue to read because, of course, your ego wants to stop you from saying like, this is not work. This is not possible. But it is fucking possible. And it really can. And I started to sit in it and say, okay, I have to really, like, it's been really hard, y'all. I'm not going to lie. It has been really hard to take that step back from how I have been showing up for 20-something years of my life when it comes to work, when it comes to my concept of success, when I'm not like, I am breaking through the belief system that I have to work hard to be successful. That I have to work hard, I have to grind, I have to hustle in order to continue to grow, in order to continue to bring in revenue. That is not how I am made to operate in this world, which is why I'm met with so much resistance, which is why I felt like every time I launched something from start to fucking finish, I put in every damn, all the work, every damn detail, all of it from start to fucking finish. Yes. But that's why your ass was motherfucking tired. Burn out. Tired. That is why it always hit a cap. It always stopped. It always felt like my success wasn't as successful as the fuck I wanted it to be. That's how I honestly felt. But it makes sense. It is really hard to transmute my old belief of saying, okay, because I see everybody else do it. Because I've been operating as a manifester and operating as a generating manifester. They have the workforce and life force energy to go out and do. They can take the ideas, they can take the concept, and they can go and do it. Because they have the energy to do it. They have the battery to do it. I don't have that. I don't fucking have that. So I cannot keep conditioning my mind and showing up in those ways thinking that because that works for them is going to work for me. But because the manifesting generators and generators make up 70% of the world, that is how the workforce is set up for the majority. And did it ever occur to you that this shit don't fucking feel right? And that's one of the other main rules of how I operate. I go off of feeling, which is why, remember I told y'all I've been making that, I had to work at that belief system of how I operate, because from the human experience side, I have a very analytical mind, like process maps, spreadsheets, like I can see things and just say, all right, this is the way to make it fucking better, which is a part of my gift. But no, as a projector, a spiritual mind, I feel my way through. I don't have to have, 9 times out of 10, nobody's going to see what the fuck I see. Nobody even sometimes is gonna even understand what the fuck I see. I just can see it clearly. Like, this is the way. This is a better solution. This is the next way for us to go, the new wave. Why the hell are you still repeating the same shit that has failed continuously? But it was never received because I just wanted to like, are you blind? Are you deaf? You can't see? Or you can't talk? Which one? You understand or you overstand? Which one? Oh, you can't see. This is a fail. A fail. But nobody invited me. You didn't invite my suggestion. You didn't invite my commentary, so it was never received. But you know what they would do? They would then not realize that I planted the seed, then take my idea, take my shit that I had said was what it is, and turn it over and say, oh, it's theirs. And then now come and say, oh, this is what I got to know. This has happened to me so many times. I couldn't understand for the life of me why the fuck this shit kept happening. But because our voice, our opinion, our wisdom as projectors are more valuable when we are recognized for our gifts and our wisdom and our talents, and when we are invited in to give our commentary, our suggestions, and our guidance. And trust that the right alignments will come, the right invitations will come, the right recognition will come. And in the meantime, we are supposed to hone our skills, rest, recharge, and just chill. Very fucking hard for me. Y'all already know that. Very hard. Which, remember, in the first video of the series of how the fuck I really feel, I said how like I was just burnt out. And it's just because finally, for the first time in my life, I am finally activating my energy type in the right way, that I'm supposed to show up in this world, that I'm supposed to find my success. And another fucking big thing about projectors is it's easy for us to see into the soul of other people because that's how we're designed, because we're the guiders. So we can penetrate, we have a penetrating aura. We can penetrate deeply into you. For me, it goes a step further because main projectors, we just offer guidance. But the way that my other spiritual gifts work is that I can see the beliefs that are holding you back. I can see the lessons that you have to learn. I can see what has been playing out in your lineage just by a conversation. I never knew that was really a part of my gifts. But as I started to do that, and I was even talking to my best friend, and she was like, yeah, like you do it with ease. But then as I started continuing researching projectors, no wonder we do it with ease, because it's a part of our motherfucking gifts. And then for me, adding my other gifts on top of that, but our life lesson, our life goal is to discover self. We don't have, well, I don't have a lot of defined centers, and I'll try to do another video on human design. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm not about to sit here and tell you no lies. I may do a video because right now I'm still heavily into researching my own shit. So I don't want to make promises to provide this to you, which is why I am going to leave the link so that you can take the test, figure out what your energy type is, and then I can recommend a book, some books for you to learn, and even, I can put some little information out there. But I gotta see if Spirit wants me to record another video specifically on human design. But there's a ton of information out there if you do want to research that. But yes, sitting in this and understanding now how it is best for me and my energy type to show up has made this journey of rediscovering what success means to me so much easier and so much better. Because I already felt like the ways of the world never motherfucking made sense to me. I can comprehend it, but I just can't get with the shits. Like, what? And it's just not designed for projectors. It's really not. And so I'm not about to fight anymore with a system that was never made for me. You ain't got to tell me fucking twice. I'm out of that shit. I'm going to continue. And so it has been giving me so many new ideas of how to show up. Because I already have ideas of what I want to launch. But just new ideas and perspectives on how I would be the most successful in my spiritual practice. And it's just, man, I'm just excited for what I have coming soon, what Spirit has me working on. But I'm not in a rush because I'm waiting for my offer. I'm waiting for my invitation. And that's why I kept saying for my offer. Even though I knew Spirit was bringing me something, but even the verbiage, the language, the synchronicities of how everything is connected, I just think it's just so beautiful. It's so dope. And I'm here for it. I'm really here for it. So yeah, y'all. I think I'm gonna end episode 3 at this. I think I probably would do a follow-up on my new beliefs around success. But right now, I just wanted to touch on how I cracked the fucking code